Breaking news, a dangerous fugitive on the run for years tracked to our area. He's in a standoff with police right now.
A false alarm in the search for a missing plane. We're following the new developments as crews look for the local people on board.
Have faith in the justice system.
A police officer under arrest, the string of crimes he's accused of committing.
Good news and bad news on the Steeler injury front. Who's playing and who isn't?
Channel 11 News at 5 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. Channel 11 News starts with breaking news.
A man on the run for more than a decade in a standoff with police and the FBI in Verona. Officers told our chopper to leave the area because the man has a high-powered long-range rifle.
And neighbors are being told to leave their homes because the situation there is so dangerous. We have live Team 11 coverage starting with Channel 11's Renee Kaminsky near that scene in Verona. Renee?
Peggy, there is a huge police presence here. I've never seen anything like it. It pays to get here first as far as media is concerned. We have a great vantage point. Let me show you where it is all unfolding. Right up at the 400 block of Center Avenue. You have a great shot of that right now. It's beyond that stone church you see on the right. That is where the home is located. And that is where 30-year-old Frank Perez, according to the FBI, Frank Perez Jr., a dangerous fugitive, is holed up right now. We are hearing that he may have a hostage with him, but we have not been able to confirm that, not yet. I've been talking to neighbors who are telling me they heard multiple gunshots earlier. We have confirmed through the FBI that this is a very dangerous man, Frank Perez Jr., on the run for 12 years. He reportedly has lived in this area for a couple of months. They say he has high-powered weapons, and he actually fired on FBI agents earlier in the day when they tracked him here to Verona and tried to take him into custody. Now, we are told that he fired on agents in Texas 9 years ago, so they are very concerned about officer safety at this point. I've been talking to neighbors for the last couple of hours, and one woman told me why her daughter felt the need to call her and warn her not to come home.
And a friend of hers called her and said, "Don't come to Verona. There is someone on Center Avenue who's got a gun inside a building and is shooting out the door at anybody that's outside."
Now, agents were trying to take him into custody this afternoon just a couple of hours ago. Neighbors are telling us here on the scene that the FBI was actually here yesterday, and when they asked them what they were doing, they said they were conducting a training exercise. We've also found out through our newspaper partner, Tribune Review, that Frank Perez Jr. goes by the name of Pumpkin, that he does have a live-in girlfriend, and oftentimes they are seen on Main Street having pizza and going into the get-go, so they are well known here in this area. But as the FBI told us, assured us, this is a very, very dangerous situation, and they want everyone, if they can, to stay out of the area. Back to you, Dave, in the studio.
Hey, Renee, so we understand now, and we've seen there are roadblocks set up there. Can people get through that area?
Yes, they can drive through on Allegheny River Boulevard. As you can see, traffic is moving, but there's so many police here. Don't even think about going up Center Avenue, because that is stacked and stacked with state police, CERT team, with county SWAT, city SWAT. There are so many really heavily armed officers in this area right now, so it would be best to avoid it. And one other thing, Verner Elementary is on lockdown, so we're talking to parents here who've been told that they cannot come and get their children, and their children are not being released right now. Verner Elementary is up on 1st Street, so that's not too far from the scene. So to keep these children safe, police are keeping them on lockdown for now. We'll keep you posted on the very latest. That is the latest here in Verona. Reporting live, I'm Renee Kaminsky. Back to you.
All right, Renee, and the FBI just gave us some new information about the suspect, Frank Perez, and why he is considered so dangerous. Channel 11's Gordon Lesh is live at their headquarters on the south side. Gordon.
Well, Peggy, FBI agents tell me they are in negotiations right now with the fugitive, trying to get him to surrender. Frank Perez Jr., they say, has a number of weapons in that house, including high-powered weapons, as you mentioned, and they say he fired shots from both the front of the house and from the back of the house at agents today. They tell me he's been living and staying at that house on Center Avenue in Verona for at least a week. Now, the FBI reports that Perez is wanted for murder in Lake County, Indiana in 1999. He's also accused of a kidnapping in Mexico. 9 years ago, he was tracked to Texas. He fired at agents at that time and escaped. As agents surrounded the house today, he fired back, but agents tell me they did not return fire.
To the best of my knowledge right now, no shots have been returned. So there's been a remarkable restraint out there, and thankfully no one's been injured at this time. So we're hoping for a quick and favorable resolution where we can bring him in without being hurt.
I'm told a woman and a child live at that house on Center Avenue in Verona, but neither of them were there today. Perez is inside that house by himself, and they are working to negotiate with him right now. Live at FBI headquarters on the south side, Gordon Lesh, Channel 11 News.
And this situation is keeping neighbors along Center Avenue in Verona on alert. At one point, a number of schools were put into lockdown. Neighbors in that area are also being told to stay inside their homes. We just talked to one man who lives directly across the street, and he can see that standoff from his window.
A gunshot, and then they shot back in, and they were trying to get him out. There's been no activity since then, but I think they shot in. I could see the SUV window broke out. When we looked out the window, they yelled to get back.
We have every available crew in our newsroom working this story for you right now. We'll bring you any updates as they happen.
Meantime, the search for a missing plane and the 3 local people on board is expanding tonight. Crews are combing a 1,000-mile area in West Virginia in the hunt for 2 business owners and the pilot on board. Now, at one point, there were reports that the plane had been found, but that is not the case. It's believed it went down Sunday night in or around Hardee County, West Virginia, as it was headed to Johnstown, PA on Sunday. Channel 11's Rick Earl live in the Satellite Center with the latest developments on this. Rick?
Well, David, I just got off the phone with the pilot's daughter, and she tells me right now rescue crews are combing the rugged terrain of northern West Virginia right now. And she also tells me that 50 friends and family members have now joined in that search today. Now, Michael Garone was flying the single-engine Piper Saratoga with 2 friends on board. Chaz Armitage, the president of Uncle Charlie's Sausage Company near Vandergrift, and his girlfriend, Laura Stetmeyer of Leechburg. Now, rescue crews spent the day searching in the mountains of Hardee County, West Virginia. That search, of course, has been hampered by poor weather conditions, including a low cloud ceiling, but they did manage to get a chopper up today. Now, earlier there were reports that a plane had been found, but that wasn't the case. Now, here's what we know about the plane's schedule. The plane left Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on Sunday and landed in Danville, Virginia at 7 p.m. The pilot dropped off his wife in Danville and then took off with 2 passengers for Johnstown at 7:30 Sunday night. About an hour later, the pilot issued a distress call, said he was going to land at the Grant County Airport, but never made it. The FAA lost radar and radio contact with the plane at 8:45 near Petersburg, West Virginia.
Hard at it today. We have, I guess shortly after lunch, we were able to get a helicopter in the air, and they actually landed and took some tracking equipment as well. So it's just a great effort by a lot of agencies involved.
And the pilot's daughter told me if anybody can survive this, it's her dad. I asked how long she plans to search for him. She told me as long as it takes. Reporting live in the Satellite Center, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
New at 5, our first look at an officer on the other side of the law. He's accused of using his position to commit crimes spanning 2 counties tonight, and investigators say he had 2 women who were helping him do it. James Scuffle was a Braddock officer, and he's under arrest for crimes there and in at least 2 locations in Westmoreland County. Channel 11's Courtney Brennan has been going through the charges and asked the officer about all of it. Courtney?
Peggy, we got 5 different criminal complaints on this officer. Each one is about 5 to 7 pages long, and so we've been going through this paperwork all afternoon. This officer faces many charges, everything from stealing to trying to break into an ATM, conspiracy, distributing drugs. I did get the chance to speak to this officer today about all of these charges. He told us that he's innocent, that he didn't do any of this. An officer who swore to uphold the law, now handcuffed and being taken away as a prisoner, accused of a crime spree across 2 counties.
I did not do what I was accused of.
Officer James Scuffle worked for the Braddock Police Department. What he allegedly did in his free time has him in a great deal of trouble. Police say everything started in March of last year when Scuffle stole a motorcycle trailer in New Alexandria. Next, they say a year later, his car was connected to a burglary case near the Laurel Highlands campground. A month later, Officer Scuffle allegedly tried to steal from cars in a Plumboro neighborhood. And the latest case comes from Scuffle's own police station in July. Officer Scuffle allegedly kept crack cocaine in his locker at the Braddock Police Department and used it as hush money.
It's just upsetting that, that someone that is a law enforcement officer would be involved in this type of behavior.
Investigators say Scuffle had 2 women helping him. One of them was his girlfriend. Scuffle is actually a friend of Braddock's Mayor John Fetterman. We spoke with him today about the news.
Personally, myself, I was devastated to hear of this. Jimmy is a great officer and has done a lot of quality work here in the borough. I'm obviously going to withhold judgment until I see the facts or the evidence myself.
Scuffle had been a part-time officer for Braddock since 2006. As of today, he is on unpaid administrative leave. He told us he's not guilty of anything.
I believe in the justice system, and I think the facts will come out eventually.
Why did you? Police told us that when Officer Scuffle went to Plumboro and was trying to get into cars, that someone saw him, stopped him, and asked him what he was doing. At that point, Scuffle took out a badge and said that he was a Plum police officer, which he was not. When the neighbor went into his house to call 911 and verify who this man was, Scuffle took off. Reporting live in Westmoreland County tonight, I'm Courtney Brennan, Channel 11 News.
And the latest now on the injuries to a couple of key Steelers players. Today, head coach Mike Tomlin said quarterback Ben Roethlisberger is in for Sunday's game, but James Harrison will be out this week, maybe even longer. The coach had more to say about their injuries, and sports director Albie Oxenreider's in the black and gold zone with that. Albie.
David, the Steelers have a laundry list of injuries. It includes several starters on both offense and defense. Today, Coach Tomlin had a surprise. Linebacker James Harrison is facing surgery tomorrow and will miss several weeks with a broken right orbital bone. But of course, the question most people are asking involves Ben Roethlisberger. Yesterday, I told you that Roethlisberger's MRI results were negative. No break in his left foot, just a midfoot sprain and bruise. But what about his status for Sunday?
Ben had his foot x-rayed, MRI'd. Thankfully, nothing's broken there. It is a sprain, may limit him at the early portions of the week, but we anticipate him being able to participate in this football game.
After playing 3 of their first 4 games on the road, the Steelers are home for the next 2 and for 4 of their next 5. Sunday's game with Tennessee is a 1 o'clock kickoff. Reporting live in the black and gold zone, I'm Albie Oxenreider. Back to you, David.
All right, Albie, thanks. We found 2 men checking a building for bullet holes.
What happened inside a bar there that has neighbors so frightened tonight?
The bear got me. I'm down on the floor.
A Pennsylvania man attacked by a bear inside his home. He relives the terrifying ordeal.
And some wild temperature swings set to move our way in less than 10 minutes. I'll take you county by county and show you when you'll need to trade the sweaters for shorts. We'll see you.
And next, a teen in trouble over public drunkenness charges is in even more hot water tonight after what happened when he showed up for court.
Plus, new pictures of that breaking news story in Verona right now. People getting us closer to the standoff involving a man on the run for 12 years. Breaking news coverage continues next. And continuing breaking news coverage of that suspect standoff going on right now in Verona. A live look there at the area along Center Avenue. The man holed up inside a home. He may have a hostage. He reportedly fired at FBI agents in the area. This is the suspect, Frank Perez Jr. He is wanted for murder in the state of Indiana and has reportedly fired on officers before. Now, we just got this picture into our newsroom from a viewer who lives right in the area there in Verona. You can see an armored police truck going to the scene on Center Avenue. Another picture now from a viewer. It shows officers in bulletproof vests behind vans blocking off the street. You can also see another large police truck on the top left-hand side of your screen. And by the way, if you see news, be sure to like us on Facebook and upload a picture and a video. And remember to keep it here for every update on this breaking news story tonight.
More local news coverage right now. Police say a teen showed up drunk to court, and get this, he was there to face public drunkenness charges. Now he's in even more trouble. Channel 11's Tamika Artis talked to the officer who was in the courtroom, and Tamika, he says the suspect was too drunk to even drive home.
That's right. That officer tells me that this guy is actually in double trouble, not only because of what he did before a judge and 2 Scott Township police officers, but then they say he tried to lie his way out of it.
He was too drunk to even be here in front of a hearing. I mean, you're too intoxicated to even make a clear, concise decision of whether you want to plead guilty or not guilty.
But that apparently did not stop 19-year-old Patrick Vogt from allegedly appearing in court on a public intoxication charge, drunk and disorderly, stammering and confused.
I mean, he said he got hit in the head playing hockey, but you could tell that it was definitely more than, anything physical that happened to him.
Officer Shane McGrath, who arrested Vogt the first time near Hope Hollow Road, tells me he could not believe it when the defendant showed up in court 30 minutes late wearing a hockey outfit as he struggled to speak with the judge.
You could smell the alcohol. He said he hasn't been drinking. The judge is like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "I beg to differ, Your Honor. I can smell the alcohol on him right here." There was another officer with me. He could smell it.
He says this breathalyzer later revealed that Vogt was more than twice the legal limit. So the judge made it a double, tossing him in the slammer.
He failed to call anybody to pick him up, so he stayed here for another 8 hours.
And slapping him with a second citation for being drunk in public and disorderly conduct.
I think it takes a lot of nerve and a lot of disrespect for himself as well as the law and the legal system to come to court well intoxicated while already being there for being intoxicated in the first place.
All right, it certainly does take a lot of nerve. Now, the judge did order Vogt to undergo alcohol treatment before appearing in his courtroom again to face both of those charges next month. Now, I did reach out to Vogt by email this afternoon, but so far he has not called me back. Reporting live, I'm Tamika Artis to Channel 11 News.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast in high definition.
Well, the weather's finally shifting gears after several days of clouds and showers. We're now tracking clouds moving out of the area, something new there, and areas of fog possible tonight. I'll pinpoint in just a moment those areas that could cause you trouble in the morning. Also, take a look at what else we're tracking. A big warm up on our way, and it looks like temperatures are going to be close to 80 by the time we close the books on the weekend. Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar, we've added in the cloud cover to show you how quickly the clouds are moving. Watch the top left of your screen. This is a 3-hour loop of satellite, and it's a fast forward on the cloud cover, getting it from northwest to southeast. Meteorologist Mike LaPointe this morning talking about the clearing line moving in from the northwest to the southeast, now working through Indiana, so our southern counties eventually will get under that clearing, and that will set the stage for skies to clear out overnight and also the patchy fog. Storm Tracker, I want to take you hour by hour through the morning, in particular, as we do see the chance for fog tomorrow morning. Clouds represented by the light gray and light white, almost non-existent throughout the day, which will add up to sunshine if you're headed out for lunch around noon. We stopped the clock to show you that you will have some sunshine and just a few clouds dotting the skies. By 5 o'clock, another weak little system kind of pushing some cloud cover back into the area, but no rain expected. In fact, Severe Weather Team 11, severe weather risks rolls to low tomorrow, in particular for the hours of midnight tonight through about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for that area of fog that could cause some reduced visibility as you're making your way in tomorrow. Temperatures right now, temperatures at 62 in Pittsburgh, 64 in Beaver Falls, but take a look as you travel south and east towards Deep Creek, 48, 58 degrees only in Morgantown. That divide is right along the cloud line, and where it is cloudy, it is still relatively cool. Cooling off tonight, 45 degrees in Pittsburgh, 44 overnight tonight in Greensburg, 45 in Beaver Falls. Take you county by county and show you the warm-up. Over the next couple of days, you're going to notice overnight low temperatures in the 40s, highs pushing near 70 degrees on the money in Pittsburgh tomorrow, 69 in Beaver Falls, 69 in Newcastle. Morning fog giving way to sunshine. East of the city of Pittsburgh, fog hangs on a little longer. By noon, though, I anticipate temperatures warming and eventually getting to 70 in Greensburg, 69 degrees in Katanning. North of Pittsburgh, skies clear out a little faster, 67 with sunshine in Tionesta, 68 in Franklin, and Clarion, you'll top out at 67 tomorrow. South of Pittsburgh, fog hangs on a little tougher tomorrow morning, but eventually you do get some sunshine and 73, 69 degrees in Kingwood. Beautiful forecast, fall-like through the rest of the week. 70 degrees and big sunshine on Thursday. Hey, get ready to take it outdoors. We end the week at 75 on Friday, 77 degrees back on Saturday, and 78 degrees. Trying to crack 80 on Sunday. Should be plenty of sunshine through the stretch. Don't forget WPXI.com. Great resource as you're making your outdoor plans.
All right, Stephen, thanks. Well, local daycare struggling to stay open after a close call for one child.
The changes they're going to have to make after a child nearly drowned on a field trip.
But first, we cover a lot of water main breaks, but this is something we don't see very often. Why this one turned out to be so bad, that's next.
And I looked out the window and I just see water shooting. I was like, oh my Lord.
The force from a bad water main break actually sent the water through a hillside early this morning. And while the main itself has been fixed, we found a lot of damage left behind. Channel 11 News reporter Kara Sapita shows us just how bad it is in Elizabeth Township.
I'm standing in the middle of this muck. This time yesterday, neighbors tell me this hillside was all grassy and green. Last night, water burst through it. We were on scene as it caused a lot of damage. The break happened while most people who live on this Elizabeth Borough Road were sleeping. They say it sounded like a storm blew through.
I was up there and I thought it was just downpouring because it was raining all day yesterday. And I looked out the window and I just see water shooting. I was like, oh my Lord.
It didn't take long for Shay Stegman to realize her car was no longer where she parked it, near the corner of Center and Grant Street. Instead, it was at the bottom of a new waterfall with muddy water up to her car's windows.
I walked out and some guy was out there. I was like, what am I supposed to do with my car? Oh, well, it's submerged. You gotta move it. How?
The break sent parts of the hillside flying and water cascading down the hill all the way into this home's basement. You can see it was flowing right through the wall. Dozens of homes lost water service. These Elizabeth Forward High School students told me they were off to school without showering. Others just took the day off.
I can't brush my teeth, I can't shower, I don't want to get to school all dirty.
And Shay stayed home as well to deal with the car she couldn't move.
I couldn't get over there. I would have got knocked over. That's how hard it was coming out of that. It was bad.
Both of these cars are going to need towed out of here. Unfortunately, the man who owns this car doesn't even know it's stuck. He's out of town on business. Reporting in Elizabeth, I'm Kara Sapita, Channel 11 News.
And a man comes face to face with a black bear and lives to talk about the scary encounter.
And you're just like, this is unbelievable. I mean, I really thought this was it.
We hear his amazing survival story and how he ripped that bear off his wife's back.
And big deals from some of your fast food favorites. Consumer reporter Robin Taylor shows us how the slumping economy is serving up some cheap eats.
Gun-toting woman fires a shot, then gets tackled and disarmed by the police. I talked to neighbors who are more than just a little frightened.
Plus, we'll go back live to the scene of our breaking news in Verona. A homicide suspect in a standoff with authorities. We're getting the latest details from officers right now.
We're staying on top of that breaking news out of Verona. SWAT teams have surrounded a home where a murder suspect is holed up. The area near Center Avenue has been blocked off. Verner Elementary School was on lockdown, but our partners at the Trib tell us that lockdown was lifted about 6 minutes ago. The FBI tells us the man even fired at FBI agents. This is a different picture of Frank Perez Jr. Our Gordon Lesh just got this from the FBI in just the last 15 minutes. He's wanted for a killing near Gary, Indiana. People in Verona commenting on our Facebook page. Amanda wrote, I do live in Verona, 1 block over, 1 up from where this is happening, and it's usually a very quiet neighborhood. So sad. I had my husband lock the doors and keep our son inside, praying for my neighbors. Sarah added, looks like a scene out of a movie. My friend lives right next door to that situation and is updating me that she's okay. If you see news, be sure to like our Facebook page and upload pictures or video. We have 11 reporters and photographers at the scene and at FBI headquarters as well. We'll keep you updated on any new developments in this major breaking news story.
I can't really tell which way the bear came.
This is an amazing story. A Pennsylvania man comes face to face with a black bear inside his home, and he survives the fight of his life. He was in the middle of his morning routine, letting the family dog out, only to have it run back in, chased by a black bear. The bear ran right into the family's home in Perry County, just north of Harrisburg. Channel 11's Darieth Chisholm shows us what happened next. Darieth?
Yeah, Peggy, by the time Rich Moyer could make it out in the pitch black what was happening, this black bear came barreling toward the open door, and it was too late to stop it.
The bear got me. I'm down on the floor.
In his living room, face to face with an agitated animal, Rich Moyer let instinct take over and wrestled with the beast. Commotion woke up his wife, Angela, who also then tried to fight the bear. But in the struggle, she landed on the porch and the bear right on top of her.
I guess it's the male instinct. You got to protect your family.
Moyer says he dove headfirst to rip the bear off of his wife.
I'm outside with the bear, and you just hear the bear chomping on the back of your head and literally just pulling your hair out the back of your head, just pulling. And you're just like, this is unbelievable. I mean, I really thought this was it.
After more struggle, the bear simply had enough, looked back at the couple for 10 seconds, and disappeared into the woods.
I'm just thankful it stopped, because if it didn't stop, I might be in a box right now.
Moyer's list of injuries is astonishing. More than 70 stitches and staples in the back of his head alone. Doctors said it opened up like a can.
I mean, there's a little bit of a puncture wound there.
20 bite marks on his hands, arms, and shoulders. His wife is also recovering from similar wounds.
I'm going to enjoy life better and be happier after this, knowing I've been through this and I'm going to live.
Moyer built his house on dozens of acres of wooded land. Before the attack, he was an avid hunter, an outdoorsman. But now, he's thinking about moving. He might even give up his hobbies for good.
The chances are, it won't happen again. Chances are.
The couple's 10-year-old son was also home when the bear attacked. He was upstairs and fortunately not hurt. The State Game Commission says bear encounters like this are rare, and the bear was likely just trying to protect her cubs. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Darieth Chisholm, Channel 11 News.
We've got a big development in our breaking story. Police have just arrested the fugitive at the center of a standoff in Verona. Renee Kaminsky is on the scene there. Renee?
Peggy, after 3 hours plus, Frank Perez Jr. is now in police custody. Take a look up the hillside there. All action has come to a halt now. We have confirmed that through the FBI's Jeff Colleen has just told us that Frank Perez Jr., a dangerous fugitive wanted internationally for kidnapping and murder, is now in handcuffs. He is in custody. We're going to come right back in just a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes from now, and show you what it's been like here in Verona, the heart of Verona, over the last few hours. That's Renee Kaminsky live from Verona. Back to you.